I no longer have thyroid disease. Successfully manifested away a 10-year-old disease. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis back in 2014. A basic rundown of what that looks like in a person: low energy, low metabolism, bad skin, bad hair, amplified anxiety. The thyroid handles so much in our body, that is a complete detriment not to have a working one. Back in February I went in for a normal checkup at my doctor's office. She ran a full panel of blood tests and came back into the room, concerned. She said that my thyroid disease is at its all-time worst. The levels of hormone it should be making are excruciatingly low, and it looks like it is going to get worse in the near future, within a month even. I remember how my body felt at the time. I was constantly exhausted, tired, and felt like I was in constant brain fog. My skin and hair didn't look very healthy, and I knew they were a byproduct of that as well. For a second, I was afraid. I was afraid of this disease getting even worse. It was already very prominent in my daily life. I stopped and remembered that this disease is something that I manifested too. And if it can manifest it, it can be unmanifested. I recalled the story of Neville teaching a 26-year-old man about living in the end. The man was highly diseased and ill and had very little time to live. Neville told the man to imagine the doctor's reaction in shock as they claimed, "It's a miracle." I took the time to clean up my mental diet and get to the roots of why this manifested in my body. I realized two things. I am constantly saying in my mind and out loud, "I am so exhausted. I don't have the energy to deal with any of this." And the biggest root of all being my general hatred for my body and myself. I immediately began reversing the way I spoke about myself, mentally and out loud. I knew what my scene was and I went straight into the end without looking back. I take it directly from Neville's example. My doctor had already set up a follow-up appointment. I say to myself mentally, I am going to absolutely destroy this next appointment. In this scene, I enter her office and take a seat. I do the usual blood-taking process and come back and wait for her to return with the results. She walks back in and the look she gives me is one of disbelief. She says, "I don't understand this. Your levels look excellent. In fact, they are fully functioning." I imagine her telling me to come back for testing again soon, to make sure the tests are accurate. And I end the scene with me walking out into the parking lot telling my sister the great news. I imagine this scene all day, every day for a week. And when small snippets of doubt would creep on me, I just mentally say, everything works out in my favor. I go to sleep and I fall asleep in the feeling of gratitude, knowing how lucky I am to be free of this disease. In the day, I talk about how much energy I have and how I feel like I probably won't sleep for a while. I just have so much of it. I live in the end, knowing that as God, I have a body as I choose. And that illness does not apply to me. I watch very carefully how I speak about myself and immediately reverse any negative statements or idea pertaining to my body. Even if it's a part of my body that wasn't related to my thyroid. A week passes. I have full and unwavering faith in myself. I already know this appointment is a waste of my time because my body has already healed. I get seated in the office, I get my blood taken. And like a glitch in the Matrix, every single thing happened as I had imagined, down to her exact facial expression. She looks at me in disbelief, because nothing has ever happened like that before, and she schedules me for a follow-up a few months later, just to be sure. "This isn't some strange fluke. Your levels are fully functioning. They look normal." But I am not surprised or moved in the slightest. I was so saturated in the end I already experienced this day before. I also noticed that my skin cleared up and my hair has seen improvement. I am not a tired person anymore. The levels at the 2-month mark were excellent. Not a fluke. The body is revisable. I feel great. TLDR techniques. Making a specific scene. SATs, lullaby method. Mental diet. Revision on my own feelings of my body. Living in the end.